Ronnie Littlewood. She was featured in the piece. She's a social worker from the Children's Aid Society of Brant here in southwestern Ontario. And Ronnie is joining us on the couch. Thank you for coming to Full Circle, Ronnie.
Thank you for having me.
So you have been tracking Tiana for years. What did you think when you met this couple and you saw these three lives come together?
Well, Bill and Donna are both bigger than life people, right?
Yeah.
And Donna was a force to be reckoned with, in that, you know, she knew that Tiana belonged there, and it didn't take a lot of convincing for me to agree with her that you know, that there really was a home. And I actually remember the day that Bill said to me that, you know what, she belongs here.
Yeah.
And is it difficult for kids that age at 8 to be adopted? Because that it is something that I think that I took away, is that it seems to me, in my perception, that most people would like to adopt a young baby, a small baby, or a child under 1 or 2. But to actually hear that they adopted her at 8, was it 8? That's huge, and that doesn't happen all the time, does it?
Well, that's where our biggest need is right now, and a need not even just in Ontario, but across Canada, across North America. We're in a crisis, especially for kids ages 6 to 12. There's such need. There are so many Tianas out there right now, and you know, a lot of people do come to us initially with the thought of getting an infant because they had infertility problems, but the pressing need right now is for older kids like Tiana.
Well, and fostering's so valid. Sorry, Denise. I have a sister-in-law who has done this for years, and she did take one a baby I thought would not be in this world very long. Ooh, I get emotional if I think about it, because it wasn't till years later that I told this to my sister-in-law, that I thought that baby, I thought the kindest thing would be for the Lord to take that very, very handicapped little infant. And I want to tell you, love has not only rescued that child, but she is an absolute delight. And the children of other ages that are in Ellen's home. It's amazing to see what love has done for them and for Ellen's own 3 daughters. You know, their heart of compassion has been fashioned in a home that has been others-centered. And I want to say, P.S., that I have noticed the change in Bill. He does seem younger, gentler. This has been a very good thing on an older gentleman.
Well, there's a lot of transformations happening, right? Yeah. And when you were saying, like, I think that's what people get scared of, Ronnie, and I know I was talking to you about this, is that they think if they adopt a child who's 8, well, we look at most of these children who are coming into the system, they've been abused in some way or shape or form. So they have issues of that, abandonment, anger, all of these things, and they think it's this insurmountable thing. I don't know if I can handle this, or if our family can handle this. But one of the things that Moira said too is that you can love a child to life, and you can love a child, and that love covers over a lot of those things. What do you have to say to people who are maybe thinking about doing this, taking this step, but being afraid of that older child?
Well, you know, if those seeds have been planted in your heart already, then you need to go out and investigate it. And don't be afraid, because we will take you every step of the way. Every agency will give you tons of training. We'll give you the skills that you need. We'll give you support and counseling. So you don't have to make those steps alone. And for those parents who are thinking about it, we're going to give you as much information as we have on that child, and you are in control every step of the way. So you'll know whether it's right for you and your family.
Right, what is reality though? Like, what are the numbers here? I mean, I love how we look at one story, one child's life transformed, but how many more children's lives need to be transformed because they need a family?
In Ontario alone.
What are the numbers here?
Well, it's 9,200 plus just in Ontario that we currently waiting for adoption, that are free and clear, sitting and waiting and do not have a home. But across North America, both Canada and United States, we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of children. Like, it's unprecedented.
And so what you're saying, though, is that with the number of people and families and churches in North America, if each one or even a church took a child or brothers and sisters, there wouldn't be this issue.
Absolutely. There's enough people in this great, wonderful country of ours to be able to give families to these children.
You know, one of the things that I know, I was talking with Bill earlier, it's a myth about fostering and adopting is the cost. What is the cost to adopt?
Oh, through a public agency, there is absolutely zero cost. There is nothing. We give you the free education, the support, we take care of all the legal fees, unlike private adoption or international adoption, which can run you $50,000 to $100,000.
And fostering pays you.
Well, there's instead of an income, we reimburse you for the cost of the child.
And it's generous.
It's enough to take care of the child.
And go ahead.
I was just saying, here's the thing too. A lot of times when a situation like this comes and it's overwhelming and we're fearful, we're like, that's Denise's problem. That's Moira's issue. And I think, you know, in your story, Denise, it's each one of us has a responsibility. Maybe it's not necessarily to adopt, but to support a couple who are thinking of it, to get your church on board, to get more information about this, because we are the answers to these kids' prayers. One thing that I will say that haunts me is I think of when I was a young child praying about thanking God for my family and my brother and sister and opportunity. And you know the 9,200 kids in Ontario right now every night are praying for a mom and dad and a family. And we are the answer to those prayers. We are, and we can't turn a blind eye to that. We must do something. We you know, we're called to do something. What Donna was saying in her report as well.
And I know that you've really ignited something, I know, Ronnie, in viewers all across the country. And for more information on just in this local area, the website would be
www.homesforkids.com.
homesforkids.com, or you can log on to our website, crossroads.ca, for a link to that, and then there will be a link to other organizations across the country as well. So you can check into your local area, the need that's there, and maybe God's planting a seed in your heart, how you can help